Gonzalez. This is my mom, Pastor Anita Gonzalez. And today we just want to come and share a testimony of what the Lord did with my youngest brother. Long story short, he had suffered from epilepsy. He accidentally fell down during a race. He was dehydrated and he hurt his head. And ever since that day, that was in 8th grade. And from 8th grade to now, it's been about 10 years, he has slowly lost decline in his nervous central system. He was not able to recollect memory. He was not able to understand speech. He would lose his balance. He had a lot of he couldn't control his movements in any way, shape, or form. And the worst part of it all was that he could not sleep. And so I was telling the Pastor Jonathan, it was that every 10 minutes or so he would have a seizure or he would twitch. And so even what doctors say REM sleep is good for you, he could not enjoy, because every time at midnight, 3 in the morning, at 6 in the morning, he would have a major attack. And it was constantly an oppression of the devil upon his life, because he couldn't get out. For as much as we would try to teach him the word of God and Bible verses or pray with him, he wasn't there. So he went from being a presidential honor roll student to like a 2nd grade memory. And so today we came expecting and believing the Lord for a miracle in our younger brother, believing the Lord that he was going to do something in his life, because for 10 years my parents hadn't slept, we haven't slept, we've been standing in faith believing the Lord, but the manifestation was longing. And so we're like, no, Lord, we're going to give a special offering to the Lord, believing for his miracle. We joined the 21 days of prayer and fasting. That was one of our prayer points. And when we heard Pastor Jonathan was coming here, we're like, no, we're going to believe the Lord that today the oppression ends. And so when Pastor Jonathan came to California, Los Angeles, California, it was literally an answer to prayer. He called each and every one of us out, but specifically the word of the knowledge that the Lord gave him for my younger brother was spot on. I told my parents, it hit the nail on the coffin. It was so accurate. Sure enough, he said that the Lord was going to restore his speech. The Lord was going to restore movement in his body. Everything that the enemy had stolen from him, this was the year of double. And so when he prayed for him, I was sharing with the brothers and sisters that when Pastor Jonathan went to go lay hands on him, he's standing by himself. Unconsciously, he would like fall backwards. But that moment when Pastor was praying, he was standing by himself. He responded. Pastor Jonathan said, "Can I pray for you?" And he himself said yes. And so when the Lord touched him, I was amazed, because we went home that night rejoicing and praising the Lord. And I want to share this video with you guys. He slept 30 seconds without a single seizure. And then the 30 seconds went to a minute, and then 2 minutes, and then 5 minutes. And the next thing you know, he's sleeping. And you can see this spirit of peace upon his life. He's able to sleep. And so we're really excited to see what the Lord's going to do with him, how the Lord is going to be able to restore completely from the top of his head to the soles of his feet, body, his function, control, his memory, his intellect, everything is coming back. And so we just want to give all the praise and the glory and the honor to God, because if he could sleep through the night, what is the Lord going to do from now until the rest of the time that the Lord comes? We're going to see that miracle. We're going to see the intelligence come back. We're just going to continue praising God, because we know this is the beginning of a great miracle in progress.
The following program contains political discourse, opinions, and footage that many viewers may find offensive. It should not be viewed by anyone ever.
Stop it. Get some help.
How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre.
Catholic moron.
What's different between you and me is you're going to hell when you die.
Dude, there's plenty of reasons to hit a woman. You just don't do it.
What kind of names were these kids calling you at the pool?
Meathead, Fatso, Wide butt, Rally the whale.
Porky, hog, fat, double wide, butterball, those sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
You're handsome and smart and a hard worker. And, let's be honest, white. That's a huge plus nowadays.
Yeah, I'm out the Queenside, grew up in Jamaica, now in Mar-a-Lago, but I'm New York forever. My way like Sinatra, that's how I made it here. I can make it anywhere, Trump Towers everywhere. Mobile with the Riz, no, you never really see those. Sip a Diet Coke, grab a Big Mac at McDonald's. Trump building majesty, 40 Wall Street. Catch me at the plaza, shooting Home Alone scenes, cruising down Broadway. Jet black Cadillac, motorcade slow drop, a fortune like Sajak. Build a skyscraper, Olay's Tower, made another billion, it's like a superpower. Used to hang with John, catch me at the Knicks game. Now I'm sitting ringside, MSG will scream my name. Riggers think I'll tap out, they don't know my pedigree. Tell by my attitude that I'm most definitely from
concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing he can't do. Still king of New York. He'll make the city feel brand new. Red hats will inspire you. Snaggers for New York, New York, New York.
Rallies Up magazine, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, guard your chin. I won't ever slack up, commies better back up. Try to cheat again and you'll the whole country act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump across the ceiling. MAGA let the love float, Democrats corrupt. Yo, we know it's do or die, we taking it all back. So, feeling, funkin', amp central force. Well, we got more fun, bust it out, retribution. Delia's team, the memes can get memed. It lives coast to coast with on my one machine. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around. Trump up, White House bound. Trump, 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 everybody jump. Trump, 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 everybody jump. Trump, 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 Trump. I'll serve just like tiny meatball. If you step out of line, you're taking a fall. Word to your moms, ballparks and farms. I got more rallies than Bible got psalms. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned. Anyone stepping in me, you'll get burned. Cause I got voters and you ain't got none. If you want a battle, come and get some. But if you do, you're a fool, cause TT is the best. After we take your seat, then you can protest. I got the skill, come get your fill. Cause when it's said and done, I'm standing still. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around. Trump up, White House bound. Trump, 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 everybody jump. Trump, 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 everybody jump. Trump, 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 Trump.
Retarded are divided into classifications: the educable, the trainable, and the custodial. Obviously, we can only assess the abilities or potential of the mentally retarded on an individual basis. Seemingly random motions and movements are fairly common among the custodial retarded, and they may take many forms. Sometimes there are motions which seem to have no meaning whatever and may even cause unintentional self-inflicted injuries. The vast majority of the mentally retarded are intelligent enough that they can be taught a great many things. However, there's a wide range of ability even among those considered educable. And their ability to learn obviously varies according to their level of intelligence. Equally important is a stimulating environment. However, we must remember to set realistic standards that are not too high for the individual. Many of the trainable retarded can learn to take certain kinds of household responsibilities, some of which may be more complex than they are usually given credit for. It would be wrong to expect a mentally retarded person to become a master craftsman. The standards are too high. But even in the skilled trades, for example, the mentally retarded can be trained to become valuable assistants. Who are the mentally retarded? They are people. They come in both sexes and in all sizes, shapes, creeds, and colors. Wherever people live, there also live the mentally retarded.
Good morning, everyone. This is Check the News. I'm your host, Evangelist Griffiths. Today's show is Planned Parenthood gets defunded. A lot of sick news coming out of there. The View is sinking, and men are awesome again. And a lot more. Good morning, Susie, Ninja Buddha. If you didn't know, yesterday we had an amazing service in Phoenix. I'm not quite sure if you can get a recap of the last night's service because I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I think it was sent in maybe the broadcast chat. Not quite sure. Try to pull that so I can see it. And so our viewers can see it. If you haven't done so, like and share the broadcast. We have an amazing night planned tonight. We're going to be in Louisiana at... Oh, it's ready already? Before we hit Louisiana, let's take a look at a recap video from last night in Phoenix, Arizona. Lots of people there. Can't wait to watch it. Play. Beautiful.
I'm not worried about tomorrow. God is my God. My life is in his hands. He's my protector. He's my supplier. He's the lifter of my head. He's the one that makes me to prosper. He's the one that makes my hands mighty in battle. He didn't bring me this far to have Ukraine blast me off the map. I'm going forward. If you're going forward, let heaven hear you. Come on, let the people of God, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. I am telling you, this is the greatest hour to be alive. You should get ready. You should get strong in your spirit and make up your mind. I'm going to give the devil the worst 12 months that he's ever had. Come on, one more time. If you commit to that, clap your hands and give the Lord. Come on, let's make some noise in Phoenix.
Wow. Woo! And tonight we're going to be live in Louisiana. So you want to make it out if you are in the area. And even if you're not, what's a 4 or 5 hour drive? It's not raining, or rather it's not snowing where y'all are at, unlike here. It's been snowing all night. It looks so beautiful. Covenant Church, November 22nd at 7 p.m. Register for this totally free event, revivaltoday.com/event. My husband is going. I'm going. Sir Patrick is going. We're all going to be there, so we hope to see you. Also, if you are in Pittsburgh, tonight is ladies' night. It's rain night. That's why I'm sporting my gear. Let's go. Pastor Sandy's in the house, and I'm going to tell you right now, she's also bringing all 12 of her sisters. I'm just kidding. I don't think all 12 of them are coming. I think there's only 5, but still, it's going to be an amazing night. Go to rtcregister.com. It's Girls Giving, and it's in the new property, and it looks absolutely marvelous. So come hungry. Please don't eat a meal before coming in. So again, rtcregister.com. And again, it is a totally free event. All right, let's get started, shall we? Hit it. Oh, I'm sorry. Last but not least, of course, Revival Today Los Angeles kicks off November 23rd, Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel. So if you know somebody in LA, we want them there. revivaltoday.com/events to register, and just let us know you're coming so we can prepare for you. All right, let's get started. Is someone teaching downstairs? They are, okay. I'll try to keep it quiet. I'm sorry, guys. Dad who faked his own death fled to Eastern Europe. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of unconventional news, only because this kind of stuff is what I love to read. I want to know why people are the way they are. And so this is the front runner right here. This dude faked his own death, and cops find him through an Uzbekistanian mystery woman. Play. Or next. Is it an article? How long is it? A Wisconsin man who faked his own death, ditched his family, and fled to Eastern Europe. How many? 3 slides. Awesome. Totally doable. Has been telling the cops how he pulled off the bizarre stunt, but still won't say if he's coming back. What? Father of 3, Ryan Borgward, vanished during a kayaking trip in August, leaving his forlorn family fearing the worst after he never came home from Green Lake, about an hour and a half north of Madison. But last week, Green Lake County Sheriff Mark Pottle said at a press conference that the 45-year-old fled to Eastern Europe. And now Borgward has opened up to police about how and why he faked his drowning. Golly, Wisconsin's... All right, next. There he is. This feels a little UPC-ish, but I digress. Next. During the trip, Borgward overturned his kayak, chucked his phone into the water, and paddled an inflatable boat to shore, according to Wisconsin. Then he rode an electric bike 70 miles south to the state capital, where he boarded a bus to Detroit, then another to Canada, before hopping on a plane, the sheriff added. Pottle, who said Borgward had spoken to cops almost every day since November 11th, even sent authorities a video of himself in his new digs. "I'm safe and secure, no problem," Borgward said in cell phone video. "I hope this works." Cops are still verifying Borgward's account, but said they're happy he's okay. The great news is we know that he's alive and well. What is his wife doing right now? Oh, my word. The bad news is we don't know how bad could it have been for you to fake your own death? What? The bad news is we don't know where Ryan is exactly, and he has not decided to return home. Okay. All right, I'm a little bit less inclined to think that this might be UPC. Strange still. He could be charged with a crime for obstructing the investigation into his disappearance should he return, the sheriff added, but has not been charges filed yet. Meanwhile, cops are pulling at his heartstrings to convince him to come back to his family. Christmas is coming, Pottle said, and what better gift could you get the kids than to be there for Christmas? I'm going to tell you something. You have annihilated that bridge. I don't think anybody is going to be like, "Hey, welcome home, Daddy." That ain't happening. I don't think so. Authorities began to search for Borgward's family, reported him missing August 12th. Think about it. That's a long time. And eventually found the overturned kayak. I mean, the suffering that man put this family through. Could you imagine thinking that your dad is dead and had drowned and his body never was recovered? Meanwhile, he's shacking up with some lady in Uzbekistan or wherever he's at. Play. Next. Is that it? Investigators initially thought he drowned in the lake, which reached depths of 200 feet. But as the case wore on, the sheriff's office began scouring his computer, which not only put them in his trail, but showed that he'd been talking to a woman. Hell no. Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
But as the case wore on, there it is, showed he's been talking to a woman from the Soviet Republic of Uzbekistan. Pottle wouldn't say what he knew about the woman, but he did say cops contacted Borgward through a female spokesperson in Russian. Borgward had also taken out a $375,000 life insurance policy for his family in January, the sheriff said. Then vanished, that's scary. Wherever he is, the authorities aren't sure but how he's managing to support himself. Goes from bad to worse. Next. All right. In other strange news, Democrats believe our daughters should be forced to share a bathroom with this guy. Play.
So I just got home from work, and today, for the first time, I dressed fully feminine in public, in the broad light of day. It was to a luncheon at my work with the board of directors of the theater company I work for. I wore my lemon dress and my keffiyeh. And you know, it in the grand scheme of things might seem like a small victory, but you gotta let yourself celebrate your small victories.
What?
Because there's
You
a
have
lot of
shoulder
times
hair.
when those big ones feel really few and far between.
Listen to me, you're not a lady.
And right now, for me, every little victory I get is one more step that I have taken towards being fully myself, towards not hiding who I am any longer.
No, please hide.
And that feels like something to celebrate.
Please.
To me.
We beg of you. Your tits might be bigger than mine, but that doesn't make you a woman. Next! Can I say that, Matthew? You know. A point of view, you just saw a new Jaguar rebrand. I'm not quite sure if you guys saw this in some other disgusting news. Look at this. Jaguar's new brand. Play.
That's just some sick coming up. Oh dear.
I love him. I love him. Next. All right, here it is. Play. That's scary. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Uncomfortable a little bit? It's a little bit jarring. I mean, I like the colors. I like color. I'm not afraid of color. But that seems a little bit skeevy. Don't you say? Next. While Jaguar is pushing debauchery, Volvo just put out this. Play.
Hey.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Whoa, the bass on my chair. Good Lord.
Hey, love.
Hey, Mom.
How are you guys? How you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Something wrong?
No, but we've actually got something to tell you. Kate's pregnant.
Oh, it's joking.
You're gonna be a grandma.
What? How does it feel?
I'm scared, Mom.
Why are you scared?
Got it all, you know.
Pulling
The
on the
nights,
heartstrings.
the responsibility. Like, I'm gonna need a bigger place.
Help with all that.
I know. Bless you. You're so sweet. I've got this feeling that we're gonna have a daughter.
Dads are
Just
bad
as stubborn
guys.
as her mum.
Oh, hopefully not. The family's knows.
Now that's a legacy she might have to live with.
I'm getting
She
a little
might be the reason we
verklempt.
tied a knot.
What if I don't do good in class?
I just want to say and
That's
do the
too
right
much.
things, you know.
Oh my goodness.
See the world with her. I'll also be happy staying home, doing nothing, letting her be a kid.
Are you awake?
Number 32.
thank you.
I want to see her fall in love,
There is still 2 minutes.
but I also know what that means. And I know she's gonna bend the rules just like I did. And one day I'll have to let her go. I'm excited to hear what she learns
Matthew's crying.
about the world,
Matthew, are those tears?
herself.
You just wiped your eyes, Matthew. I get it.
She hates. I hope she likes the name you give her.
What? Oh, this is unexpected. This is unexpected. I thought she was on her way. His wife was on the way to get into the Volvo car, and it took a turn because the Volvo driver spared his wife's life because of wonderful brakes. And now that baby can live. What a commercial! I mean, no comparison. John Williams just said this ad is way better than Jaguar. It's not even a comparison. First of all, it's 3 times as long. It's a small little cinematic movie. And I'm blown away, okay? It gives the man the dominant role, of course, and he's talking about what he sees in his daughter's future. Siri, remind me to buy a Volvo. Next. Jaguar stock price tumbles. Thank you. Amid woke backlash. So Jaguar, not a good look for you. How are you going to go from that sleek and sophisticated look to what it looks like now, which is just simple and just like, it's just gross. Next. What else we got? What else we got? Offers still out there to come back to play for the Steelers for free and finish the season. Of course, this is Antonio Brown tweeting this just yesterday. So who knows? There could be, Antonio Brown might be back, y'all. If you're from Pittsburgh, this might excite you. And if you're not, you won't care. Next. Democrats are lost and leaderless. I see no way to fix this because their reflex for promoting identity over merit renders them permanently incompetent as a group. What a marvelous post. The best hope for Democrats is that their preferred media platforms evolve in the direction of real news and real solutions, and the party follows. But I don't see how that could happen if the left-leaning news stays fake and Democrats continue to brand themselves as the identity party. They will never again be competitive. They will just be racist relics of a broken era. Oh my gosh. Mind you, he used to be a Democrat, by the way. And if they try to copy Republicans, what's the point? The new charismatic Democrat leader might make a difference, but no one smart would want to enter that meat grinder. Woo-wee! Next. Breaking news. Archaeologists have uncovered the earliest known inscription declaring Jesus is God, dating back to 230 AD. This is 1800-year-old mosaic found beneath Israel's Megiddo prison is considered the most significant discovery since the Dead Sea Scrolls. It offers profound insight into early Christian beliefs and practices. Do we have the pictures? I actually wanted to see this. All right, next. That's beautiful. Oh, there it is. There it is. Come on. Yes, and he is still God. Hey! Next. What's going on with Canada? Do we have any Canadians watching with us? I want to know what's wrong with your prime minister, okay? Can somebody please tell me what is wrong? If you don't know, they want to... let's just play it.
Michelle Song, CBC News. Now that the ICC has issued warrants for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant, Canadian law enforcement is obligated to arrest them should they come to Canada. Will you allow that to happen, or will you step in to prevent an arrest?
Scumbag.
First of all, as Canada has always said, it's really important that everyone abide by international law. This is something we've been calling on from the beginning of the conflict.
This guy has such a hard-on for world government. It's not even funny. And also, where are you giving this interview?
We
Are you in somebody's kitchen?
Up for international law, and we will abide by all the regulations and rulings of the international courts. This is just who we are as Canadians.
So Benjamin Netanyahu can't go to Canada. Not that he was planning on it. Canada sucks, but I'm just kidding, guys. I know that we have Canadians watching. We love Canada. We just don't like your prime minister. Next. United States announces it will not comply with the ICC's arrest, which is a little bit of a miracle because I don't trust this administration whatsoever. So when I heard that the ICC had an arrest warrant for Prime Minister Netanyahu, I wondered what that meant for the U.S., but here you have it. Hear it from this lady's mouth. Play.
Couple things. So the first thing that I will say is that obviously we reject, and we certainly have different opinions on that, and we're going to let other countries speak for themselves. We're speaking for ourselves, and so we're not going to be executing any arrest warrants. That is not something that we're going to do from here. And I do have some examples on when you asked me about the process and why we think it's essentially a flawed process. And so in contrast to how he has treated, this is the prosecutor, how he has treated others, including Nicolas Maduro and his associates, the prosecutor failed to provide Israel with a meaningful opportunity to engage constructively and to properly consider its domestic processes. This calls into question the credibility of the prosecutor's investigation and the decision today. But we've been very clear, not just today, that
it's a new day. We're agreeing
that
here.
The ICC has the
word. I never thought
here. And so over this
feels
matter,
like. Wow.
And so we've been
I agree
very
with
clear
this
about
lady.
that, and that stance has not changed. But I just laid out an example of why we think what process the ICC did not follow.
Wow. Yes. Okay. Next. Gates didn't step down, so we're going to turn into the Attorney General. You know, we talked about it a little bit. We haven't really spent too much time on his cabinet picks, Trump's future cabinet picks. But one thing that is breaking is that Gates actually stepped down. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't know the science behind these picks, okay? I didn't know much about Matt Gaetz and still don't know much about the one that was just selected by Donald Trump, which we're going to get into in a little bit in the moments to come. But I've been reading a lot of these really weird posts, and this is one of them. Gaetz didn't step down because he was afraid he wouldn't be confirmed. There's more to the story. Something all of a sudden changed from yesterday to today. And you got to agree with this. It had nothing to do with allegations leveled by Democrats because, of course, we knew about the allegations for months and years ago. And so it just didn't make sense why he would step down so abruptly. Next. 99% of the time, this is coming from DC Drano, which is on top of all this news. But take a look at this. 99% of the time, I usually know what's going on. This Gates withdrawal is the 1%. Nothing makes sense right now. Next. Interesting, huh? But turning the tide, Donald Trump wastes no time, and Harmeet Dillon seems to think that the new selection is good. And if it's good for Harmeet Dillon, it's good for me too. But I want to know a little bit more about Pam Bondi. Anybody ever hear about her before? Anyone? I don't follow politics enough to know who the heck she is, but here it is, Donald Trump. I'm proud to announce former Attorney General of the great state of Florida, Pam Bondi, as our next Attorney General of the United States. Pam was a prosecutor for nearly 20 years, where she was very tough on violent crimes, or rather violent criminals, and made the streets safe in Florida. Then, as Florida's first female Attorney General, she worked to stop the trafficking of deadly drugs and reduce the tragedy of fentanyl overdose deaths, which have destroyed many families across our country. She did such an incredible job that I asked her to serve on our Opioid Drug Abuse Commission during my first term. We saved many lives. For too long, the partisan Department of Justice has been weaponized against me and other... Don't know what the rest of it says. Next. Or we're just gonna... There it is. Me and other... Republicans, not anymore. Pam will refocus the DOJ to its intended purpose of fighting crime and making America safe again. I've known Pam for many years. She's very smart and tough and is America's first fighter who will do a terrific job as Attorney General. A little bit more on her. Let's find out who she is. Saxbury tends to think she's a pit bull, which is fantastic. Matt Gaetz introduced a bill to ban members of Congress from trading stock companies they regulate, so they banded together and stopped his nomination. That's how the dirty game works. Another take on why Matt Gaetz stepped down. Next. Here we go. Just in, MSNBC guest melts down over Trump's picking Pam Bondi as the next Attorney General, which is also a very good sign. Listen, if MSNBC would have said that she was a great pick, I would have been 100% out. 100% out. Let's take a look. Play.
Pam Bondi is exactly what I was saying in the last segment
fabulous.
that we should all fear, because she's competent. We may not agree with her ideologically, but she actually knows how to do this job. So if anyone on the Democratic side or anyone who cared about liberty or justice was thinking, well, maybe Matt Gaetz will screw this up and that'll give us some time. No, Pam Bondi knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing about immigration. Remember, Florida is one of those states that's been very aggressive about migrants and deportation and moving people to different states and everything else like that. Florida has enacted all sorts of rules and laws to curtail students and what they can do on campuses and finding legal justifications for manipulating education money. She is a dangerous and effective pick, and that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
Yeah, and I want to discuss that with a little more depth with both of you, including her record on...
Make this make sense to me. So he's, from the mouth of this guy, he's saying that she is arguably way better qualified than Matt Gaetz, which makes her a worse candidate or a worse option. How the H does this make any sense? Play.
Rights, LGBTQ rights, and other issues that are front and center at the DOJ, and which we know were also big campaign issues this cycle.
Next. All right, President-elect Trump's new nominee for Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Let's take a look.
These criminals made one very big mistake. They wound up in Polk County. And I'll tell you, it's bad enough in one thing to profit from poisoning others, but it's another when you bring drugs from Mexico into our country, California, Texas, Georgia, and end up in our state and do it with impunity. Because when you're in this country illegally and you're doing things illegally, I want to tell you, and you wind up in Polk County, Grady Judd is going to find you, the DEA is going to help them, and my statewide prosecutors are going to lock you up for as long as we can.
And we're going to enjoy it.
And each of these defendants are looking at 30 years in Florida State Prison for conspiracy to traffic drugs.
Hallelujah. I hate fentanyl. Next. Wow. Okay. I'm still not 100%. Right now, maybe I'm at 65%. Okay. I think that because MSNBC hates her, that, you know, kicked her up. Harmeet Dillon vouches for her. So I'm at 65% that this is a good selection. Let's dive a little bit deeper, shall we? DC Drano, here's why I like Trump's new AG pick, Pam Bondi. Not only is she experienced, but I look at where someone stands during times of difficulty. When Trump was being impeached for the perfect Ukraine phone call, Pam was brought in to defend him as legal counsel. Oh, now, not only was that a courageous move by her, but she also won the case. When it was unpopular to stand with Trump, Pam stood strongly beside him. She'll make a great U.S. general attorney. Okay. All right. 70%. Next. Again, 75%. Roger Stone vouches for her. Friend of the show. Pam was a great attorney general in Florida, and she'll be great for the United States. I'm confident she'll clean out the nest of corruption at our currently politicized DOJ. Next. Awesome. Being a Democrat ages you fast. Tim Walz, 60. Pam Bondi, 59. Next. That's a little jarring. Trump's new pick for attorney, Pam Bondi, says Israel is our greatest ally in the world. All right, 100% she's in. That's fine. That's fine. I'm all in. I'm all in, Pam. Attorney General, play.
And I think it's a strong, not only show of strength, but also unity. And Israel is one of our, if not our greatest ally in the world. And I'm so proud of what happened today. I've been to Israel twice as Attorney General, and Jerusalem is the capital of Israel.
All right, but as you know, with all these Palestinian protests, the fears seem to be that it might be agitating a lot of this violence.
Next. Trump replaced a Florida man with a Florida woman. So far, we have president from Florida, chief of staff from Florida, secretary of state from Florida, national security advisor from Florida, attorney general from Florida. We're actually going to make America Florida. Let's go. Next. Pam Bondi to Mark Cuban before the election. All right, let's watch it. me.
Well, I was a prosecutor. I was a homicide prosecutor for 18 years. I was Florida's first female attorney general, and I was special advisor to Donald Trump, Office of White House Counsel, but most importantly, I'm his friend. And I was in that White House, and we all know he surrounded himself with a lot of brilliant women. How many?
Can you look up something, Femina? I just look up her background. Like, where's she from? I don't think that she's originally... Is she from North Carolina? And then she moved to Florida? I doubt... She's from Tampa, born and raised in Tampa. What kind of accent is this? Play.
Women here tonight support Donald Trump. And backstage, look at these beautiful women sitting behind me. Sorry, guys, in the front row. Donald Trump. That was the greatest gift Mark Cuban could give Donald Trump, I think, by saying something so ignorant and stupid. So I have a message for Mark Cuban from all of us here tonight. Underestimate us. This is going to be fun.
That's going to age very well for her. Next. La, 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 la. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've already watched this. Next. Donald Trump's Attorney General nominee Pam Bondi delivers a bombshell presentation in 2020 exposing the Biden family ties to the corrupt Ukrainian gas company Burisma. During her revelation on Ukraine corruption, the big three networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, went dark, completely ignoring the story. Wow, so she has the balls to talk about this. Let's play. Oh, my.
Ambassador Yovanovitch was confirmed July 2016 as the Obama administration was coming to a close. In September 2016, a Ukrainian court cancels the oligarch Zlochevsky's arrest warrant for lack of progress in the case. In mid-January 2017, Burisma announces that all legal proceedings against it and Zlochevsky have been closed. Both of these things happened while Hunter Biden sat on the board of Burisma. Around this time, Vice President Biden leaves office. Years later now, former Vice President Biden publicly details what we know happened, his threat to withhold more than $1 billion in loan guarantees unless Shokin was fired.
I remember this.
Here's the Vice President.
I said, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
What he didn't say on that video, according to the New York Times, this was the prosecutor investigating Burisma.
That's right.
Shokin. What he also didn't say on the video was that his son was being paid significant amounts by the oligarch, owner of Burisma, to sit on that board. Only then does Hunter Biden leave the board. He stays on the board until April 2019.
Dude. All right. Who likes her now? All right, here it is. Attorney General Pam Bondi is a fourth-generation Floridian who spent more than 18 years as a prosecutor trying cases ranging from domestic violence to capital murder. She receives her Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice from the University of Florida. Wow, so thoroughbred Florida. She's never run for elected office, but as a career prosecutor, she knew she wanted to make a larger, more positive impact to help Floridians statewide. In 2010, she ran for Attorney General, becoming the 37th and first female Attorney General in Florida's history. Of the top 100 oxycodone dispensers in the country, 98 of them were in Florida. In her first legislative session, Attorney General Bondi successfully fought for tough legislations to shut down all 98 of these unscrupulous doctors and clinics. Wow. Attorney General Bondi has also made Florida a national model in a battle against synthetic drugs. She's fought to keep deadly synthetic drugs off our streets through the signing of the emergency orders to ban these drugs as soon as they become prevalent in Florida. In 2016, she worked directly with the Florida legislature to pass the Florida Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act. This is all inclusive legislation. Man, this is going to be so good for us. This is going to be so good for us because she's the front line with all of this fentanyl BS that's taking out so many people that we love. Next. Here we go. Venezuelan migrant charged with raping his boss's 14-year-old daughter while living in their effing Colorado home. I'm telling you, these libs, will they ever learn? Next. Manhattan assistant DA was attacked and robbed by an illegal with 6 prior arrests. Do you notice something very common in New York City? These people continue to commit these acts and then get right back on the street. Right back on the streets. But this one is a Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. He also exposed himself and committed lewd acts. Play.
Smiling Brandon Somoza being led out of the Midtown South precinct on West 35th Street this morning. Police.
I'd be pretty excited. Think about it. You get to live rent-free. You get an EBT card full of cash. You get to commit whatever heinous acts you want, and then the very next day you're gonna be on the street. Why wouldn't you be thrilled? Why wouldn't you look exactly like this pedo? Play.
At about 2 a.m. Sunday, he robbed a 38-year-old woman in the hallway of her Hell's Kitchen apartment building. He allegedly grabbed her purse, cell phone, and bank cards, and also performed a lewd act. The victim is a Manhattan assistant DA. She was not injured. Police traced her stolen cell phone to a hotel on West 45th Street, which led them to believe the suspect is a migrant, and they were able to track him down. Somoza was arrested just last night. Police say he was using drugs on the street and had stolen items with him. Police believe he is part of Tren de Aragua. That's the Venezuelan gang that has preyed on people in Times Square and Central Park. Somoza is facing a number of counts, including sexually motivated robbery and burglary. He also has 6 prior arrests, all from this year on similar crimes.
1 year.
And he's believed to have arrived in the U.S. in February of 2023 in Lower Manhattan. Lauren Glassberg, Channel 7.
So explain to me, why do
Eyewitness
they
News.
keep putting these guys out on the streets? What are they waiting for, another Lincoln rally thing to happen? What's going on, New York? What in the literal hell is going on in New York City? Next. On other news, the Philippines is now urging 300,000 illegals living in the United States to self-deport ASAP or risk being deported and banned from the country for 10 years. More of this. Play.
The Philippine ambassador should not have said those things because it causes unnecessary panic in our community.
Romeo Hebron says he was flooded with calls and walk-ins to the migrant center here in North Long Beach once Filipinos heard this from their ambassador.
Well, my advice to them is to immediately leave voluntarily, because once you're deported, you can never come back to the United States.
Certainly blunt advice, but not entirely correct. Being caught without authorization in the U.S. brings a 10-year ban against returning legally. Still, the message was clear.
Legally.
Leave now before
word.
being caught up in President-elect Trump's mass deportation threats.
My advice is for them not to wait to be deported.
There are about 4 million Filipinos in the U.S., and our estimate is that 1 in 4 is undocumented.
That's between 200 and 300,000 Filipinos, and many have been in the U.S. for decades.
Get out. Get out. Next. What is this? Biden gang. Listen to this, okay? The Biden gang sex trafficked kids. Question mark? Play.
Are you familiar that in that report, it revealed that children were pimped out by their aunt, which it turns out the aunt wasn't even related to the child, the so-called aunt. Are you familiar with that story that was in there?
There are a number of incidents that are reported in that Florida report. Some of them I can probably recall better than others. Some of them I would challenge and dispute, but that one I don't remember.
And do you remember the teenage girl that was in a house with unknown men with no private bedroom for her? Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club in Jacksonville as an address for where this child, where a child should be settled.
Congressman, as I said, I don't have the information on that Florida grand jury report in front of me. I certainly can go back and take a look at it and try to get back to you.
So what the hell? Where are all these children going? Next. All right, listen, the demise of The View is happening so fast, it'll make your head spin. They're after Joe Rogan, and this is not a tree they wanted to climb, ladies and gentlemen. He just changed his bio on X to make this his official description. Take a look, play the video.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. So when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
we're checked by everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have the legal note here. But we went from Walter Cronkite basically to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple force that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur type of animals, roamed the earth when people did. So this is the type of really, really bad information that's going out there.
Well, in defense, there are some really good news.
It's possible that Donald Trump did roam the earth when dinosaurs were here.
There are some really good news kind of influencer types, and I think it's great that they're getting information about global and current events in front.
Amazing. Thanks, The View. Play.
We went from Walter Cronkite basically to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple force that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur type of animals, roamed the earth when people did. So this is the type of really, really bad information that's going out.
WTF, Whoopi Goldberg on The View. Elon Musk is the actual vice president. More incredible content coming from The View. Take a look.
Because, as I believe, Elon Musk is the actual vice president.
You've said that.
And yes, I believe that, because I think that J.D. Vance, he's kind of an interim, but I believe
Go back to your house.
Musk is he's the real actual vice president. He's making decisions, he's doing things. So I think, why doesn't he have to give up X with everything he's done? I know we got to go, but I'm just, I'm musing. I'm musing.
Yeah, you're a retard. Anyway, next. Sunny Hostin had to read another legal note for false claims that the show made. We've already covered the Matt Gaetz one, and now apparently this one's about Pete Hegseth. You know what would be easier? Firing her and canceling The View. So let's take a look what she had to apologize about.
Legal note. I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on.
Just cancel it.
Or really long music. We'll be right back.
Just cancel it. Next. You're the media now. X what you know, X what you hear, X what you see. Joe Rogan is X, or rather, X is the mainstream media now. I would play this. Do I want to play this? I think we get the point. Next. MSNBC Rachel Maddow's salary reportedly has been cut. Okay, now get this. It was cut by $5 million. So this lady, this piece of filth, was getting paid $30 million for being on MSNBC. Hello. Next. $25 million. What? It's glorious to see legacy media panic over the realization that they no longer get to have full control over the narrative because X is a free speech platform. Let's take a look. And of course, coming from MSNBC. Play.
Elon Musk bought X and turned it into the social media arm of the MAGA movement. And we all sat there right in the middle of it during the campaign,
like
possibly not realizing that we're sitting there like fat chickens just getting attacked all day and just being part of this MAGA messaging. However, the election's over. Everybody's getting smarter and better. I'm not sure that the right idea is to leave Twitter and just go to Blue Sky, a friendlier place, because then we remain in our echo chambers. I don't think that you should necessarily stay in Twitter every day and battle it out and let yourself doom scroll of all the hate coming at you. But I want to see it. I want to read what's happening there, right? And so I think at least
and
staying
millions of
in
others,
those
my friend.
spaces is important because I want to hear the other things.
Eddie, you know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of these right in your suckhole.
Next. Logan Paul is going to war with the BBC. Listen, legacy media is in big trouble. If Logan Paul is coming after you, you know there's big problems. Play.
British media conglomerate that you might know because they've been platforming predators for the past 50 years. Got a list: Jimmy Savile, Chris Denning, Chris Langham, Jonathan King, Rolf Harris, Stuart Hall, and currently Hugh Edwards. All of them convicted of sexual offenses, most of them involving minors that are quite frankly too f***ed up to get into. And in the case of Hugh Edwards, which is unfolding as we speak, the BBC knew about it.
What?
We knew, said BBC boss Tim Davie as he continued to pay the predator the highest salary in the BBC using the funds of UK citizens. And while Matt was at Vice Media, they faced sexual misconduct allegations from over 24 women, including against their former boss, the president, Andrew Creighton, who, by the way, had to leave the company after paying a former employee a settlement for a sexual harassment claim. Anyway, I give this context because while Matt Shea reports for organizations with proven, known history of sexual misconduct, he advances his career through the investigation of alleged sexual misconduct. Ironic. Also,
big trouble. Next. Does anybody even watch news anymore? I mean, it's just cringy. We only get isolate clips just so that you can see how ludicrous it is. But I don't even have cable. I don't have cable. I don't have Dish. It's the thing of the past. There, I said it. Russian President Putin says America is pushing the world into global conflict. Let me tell you right now, brother Putin, it's not America. It is the administration that is at the helm of this great nation. But in just 30 days or so, how many days till January 20th? Can we start a countdown? Is there any way that we can do a countdown, like a live countdown every single day until January 20th? Father, help us. Play. If it's in Russian, we're going to keep it moving.
And we believe it is a mistake on the part of the United States to destroy the system that was established by the Missile Treaty in 2019. We see that the United States and their allies are now considering and has successfully tested their capabilities.
We don't want this. We're pushing Russia further into the loving arms of Iran and China. And this is all because these warmongers are on sitting in high places calling the shots. So pray for this, pray for peace. Absolutely. Next. What's this? Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Sine. I can confirm that Russia did launch an experimental intermediate range ballistic missile. The United States was pre-notified briefly before the launch through nuclear risk reduction channels. What the hell does that mean? Play.
First, can you confirm it was an intermediate range missile? Second, did Russia provide advance warning? And can you give us some sort of clarity on who they call and how much advance notice did they give? And then just thirdly on this, what is the overall U.S. reaction to the missile strike and Putin's comments today that he believes Russia has the right to strike any and take action against countries that provide weapons to Ukraine?
Thanks, Lita. So trying to remember some of the order of your questions. So I can confirm that Russia did launch an experimental intermediate range ballistic missile. This IRBM was based on Russia's RS-26 Rubezh intercontinental ballistic missile model. In terms of notifications to the United States was pre-notified briefly before the launch through nuclear risk reduction channels. For more, I'd refer you to state on that. And I think your third question was on our reaction to Putin's comments. I mean, we've seen this type of, dangerous, reckless rhetoric before from
He's saying,
President
don't mess
Putin.
with me. What kind of response do you people
What we're
want?
focused on is continuing to support Ukraine with what it needs. Ukraine, as you know, has been successful in continuing to push back against Russian aggression. We just rolled out another $275 million package yesterday.
Yes, we know.
We're going to see more packages continue
that's nice.
in the weeks and months ahead left of this administration. So that's what we're really focused on.
How disgusting.
Of course, we're going to take seriously the rhetoric coming out of Russia, but our focus remains on arming Ukraine and supporting Ukraine what it needs the most on the battlefield. And as a reminder, as this reckless rhetoric continues, Putin can choose to end this war today. He can choose to withdraw Russian forces and end this and end, his war of aggression and his war of choice. So we're going to continue to focus on what Ukraine needs on the battlefield.
Is that a man? Next. People don't realize this, but Russia could take out the entire Ukrainian government in their sleep, and Ukraine's air defense system wouldn't even be able to detect the incoming warheads, let alone stop them. The only reason Zelensky is alive today is because Putin allows him to. Play. So I'd say Russia is showing some restraint. Abso-freaking-lutely. But what's interesting is his following comments. The West is used to filling their bellies with human flesh and their pockets with money for the centuries. But they must realize that the vampire ball is ending. Okay, that's cryptic AF. And what do these people know? Play.
Они привыкли столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами.
And their pockets with money
Но
for
они должны
centuries.
понять,
But they must realize the vampire
что бал
ball
вампиров заканчивается.
is ending. Okay, I guess we didn't need to watch him say that, but the vampire ball, ladies and gentlemen, is ending. It's ending with Biden, all right? United States decided to take matters into their own hands and elect the greatest president the world has ever known. But they're raising hell before this administration has to turn over the power to Donald Trump. So keep an eye on Russia. Next. Russia will target military facilities in the countries whose weapons will be used against Russia. And that's the reason why the United States is in or at least U.S. military sites are a part of this. And again, what kind of retaliation do you think? You think Russia's just going to sit there? Next. Breaking, Planned Parenthood has been caught selling viable babies at 23 weeks for research. This is human trafficking. So I don't know the full story about this, but we're getting it right next. Do not read this if you just ate. Exclusive Planned Parenthood emails negotiating for fetuses exposed. Play. Or do we have the article? Grab it, because it would have been, if it's Planned Parenthood, we're going to say that it's aborted fetuses. But that prior tweet doesn't make it specific. So absolutely disgusting. Next. There it is. Stomach-churning emails, Planned Parenthood negotiating terms regarding the donation of aborted fetuses for medical research. The email discusses fetal tissue like any other commodity such as sugar or rice, nonchalantly negotiating for fetuses up to 23 weeks old from elective abortions. Oh, God. That almost made me puke. For real. A heavily redacted so-called research plan submitted to the University of California, San Diego Institutional Review Board, and approved in 2018, states scientists wanted 2,500 fetuses from up to almost the 6th month of gestation for experimentation. Next. We will connect tissues from fetuses ranging from 4 to 23 weeks of gestation age from from subjects undergoing elective surgical pregnancies terminations at Planned Parenthood in San Diego. We curse Planned Parenthood in Jesus' name. Although selling fetal tissue is illegal, donating it is not illegal. Huh? The contract between UCSD and Planned Parenthood appears to allow Planned Parenthood to retain intellectual property rights relating to the fetal tissues, although it does not grant UCSD the independent right to commercialize the tissue. The fetuses were taken to perinatal respiratory and UCSD to be researched. The emails were shared with the post by controversial pro-life activist David Delayden and his organization, the Center for Medical Progress, who obtained them through a California State Public Guest record request. The majority of healthy infants born at 23 weeks can survive with modern medical care. The youngest surviving premature baby, Curtis Means, was born at 21 weeks and 2 days in April 2021 in Alabama. Next, these documents show that Planned Parenthood is supplying healthy babies who are old enough to survive outside of the womb from late-term abortions to the United States California royalty generation experiments after months of pro-abortion forces and media gaslighting the public about whether late-term abortions on healthy babies and healthy mothers actually happen. To see it spelled out this explicitly in the records of a government-funded body is truly shocking and extremely clarifying for the conversation on abortion our country is currently having. The Post could not confirm whether any of the fetuses supplied to UCSD were healthy or able to survive outside the womb prior to the abortions. Next. Mothers are given consent forms at Planned Parenthood involving the donation of their pregnancy tissues from their abortions. However, while the English language consent forms contains 15 bullet points, including language disclosing the donated tissue may have significant commercial value, that specific information is not included in the Spanish language consent form. The Spanish form contains only 14 bullet points. Next. I don't understand why Planned Parenthood and UCSD felt that Spanish-speaking mothers did not deserve to know that the body parts of their aborted children would be commercialized, while English-speaking mothers did deserve to have this fact disclosed to them because they're freaking wicked. Next. The only explanation I can think of is why this discrepancy persisted for at least 4 years is blatant institutional racism. You think? The document Delayden received through the public record request showed transfers of aborted fetuses from Planned Parenthood in UC San Diego taking place under ongoing biologic material transfer agreements. Next. This is the email. Next. Too small for me. The contract made for valuable consideration grants. UCSD accesses to fetal and placenta tissue, which are proprietary materials of Planned Parenthood San Diego. The parties agree that in granting access to the proprietary aborted fetal bodies parts, PPSD shall retain all right, title, and interest in that material, including but not limited to the rights, title, and interest in patents. Like, they're humans. They're babies. One email from research to the Planned Parenthood shown the Post notes that they have 27 heart samples from requested or more varying fetal ages, including 15 weeks and later. She agrees with me that hearts should be pretty easy to collect. Help us, God. Next. Maybe this is what Putin was talking about. The United States likes eating the flesh of humans or whatever the heck he was talking about. Delayden has been under investigation by California State. Of course he is. He had released undercover videos of their executive discussing fees and prices associated with the transfer of fetal tissue in July 2015, which was very disgusting. Planned Parenthood has denied that the videos show any illegal conduct, but rather show the legal, not-for-profit donation of fetal tissue to research firms. Continue. At several of our health centers, we help patients who want to donate tissue for specific scientific research, and we do this just like every other high-quality healthcare provider does, with full appropriate consent. Go to hell. I literally mean that with I'm full just transparency. They can go to hell. Next. I don't want to read it anymore. I'm literally like, I'm getting like the bubble guppies. Why would a bacteria be considered life on Mars and a heartbeat not be considered life on Earth? Coming from Frank Turek. Oh gosh, I'm like getting like lightheaded. I feel like the color left my face too. Woo! Next. Breaking: Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Get this, all right? If this isn't immediate satisfaction and just kind of the best news that you ever did hear, especially after reading what Planned Parenthood is doing to 20 viable babies, 22 and 23-week babies. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy plan to completely cut federal funding going to Planned Parenthood. This is a massive win for life. And guess what? Next. Here it is. They actually tweeted it yesterday. We're going to cut all federal funding to Planned Parenthood. I initially read the first text or the first tweet, and I was like, actually, this is the parody account. All right, forget it. I've lost a little bit of hope here. But they do have a Doge account on X, and so we would love to see this. We would absolutely love to see federal funding cut from Planned Parenthood. Next. Here we go. Washington, D.C. is our richest area per capita. Look how much more rich they are than everybody else. That tells you how important Doge is. Next. We're getting there. Deregulation and reducing government spending leads to prosperity, coming from the Elon Musk, the helm of Doge. JP Morgan has raised Argentina's GDP growth forecasting for next year to 8.5, one of the highest in the world. JP Morgan is citing optimism around recent reforms by President Milei as a reason for such rapid growth. Let me tell you, look at those blue eyes, huh? That's passion, my friends. He took that country and he turned it around. And let me tell you that's in store for the United States of America under the presidency of Donald J. Trump. Next. Here we go. 80% is the 80%, but the point remains valid. I love the fact that he had to interject with the actual number. Elon Musk fired 90% of Twitter staff, and it functions better. It functions better. So these are the things to come here. For us at the United States. Next. Patrick Bet David nailed it. President Trump didn't just beat Kamala Harris. He also demolished Barack Obama's legacy forever. I wanted to watch this. Play.
The number one loser, you know who it is? Barack Obama. Do you know why? Because his voice doesn't carry weight anymore. He was out there begging, screaming, scolding. Everything he did, he no longer carries that weight. Imagine Barack Obama, every day he goes to sleep, he remembers that one dinner that he's talking shit to Trump, saying you'll never be president, when he did the angry tweets and all this stuff on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, and he reads the Trump tweet at him, talking shit about him. He says, at least you'll never be a president, drops the mic.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump. At least I will go down as a president.
Obama has to eat his words for the rest of his life. It's gotta suck. The number one loser of 2024 election.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I do. I agree with that fully. What was he doing during this campaign? Let me tell you, the problem wasn't Obama, it wasn't Biden, it was Kamala. Anyone that tried to support her, she has the Midas touch, but like for the worst, for the bad, whatever the bad is. So anything she touches just literally goes to pure crap. Next. Just in, another actor, Richard Gere, is leaving America just after Trump wins re-election. Again, you know what we like to say here, don't let the Lord, don't let the door hit ya, huh? Or the good Lord split ya. Next. This is how I am. You? Absolutely counting down to Christmas, sweetie? Nope, January 20th. We're gonna start a countdown here at Check the News, and I can't wait. How can we do this, Femina? Is there any way that we could do it, just add it to the ticker at the bottom and just like, you know, blah, blah, blah. How many more days till January 20th? Hang on. How many more days left till January 20th?
It's 59 days until then.
59 days. All right. I take like a deep like gulp because 59 days is a lot. Unfortunately, it's a lot. Especially for this freaking administration, bunch of psychos, warmongers. Help us, Lord. Can't Biden go back to sleep? Anyone? Next. 59 days. All right. We can do this. Mainstream media won't show this a little, just to change the focus from the perils at Planned Parenthood and the horrors that we just read. Let's take a look at something that will lift our spirits. Take a look. Play.
Go ahead. I'm a 9/11 survivor, Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. I love the policy that you have for the military.
Thank you.
I wanted to know if Trump Towers would be part of that veteran job.
Are you talking about here?
Yes.
We are doing some of that actually already. We have it very much involved. Why? What are you looking for? What kind of a position? Come up here. Come here. You look so smart. Good. Do you mind if I do a job?
Are we going to get kicked out of YouTube for this song?
We need good people. How are you?
Pause. Next.
So what's your experience in front of the world?
He literally hired her. He literally hired her on the spot. Watch it on your own thing, but I don't want to get booted because of the song. But he friggin' hires her right on the spot. I'm moving to England because Trump won. What did he say? I don't know. Something about being on Epstein's client list. Hang on a second. This is always happens to me. Sorry for the delay. Next. Kid Rock, Tucker, a priest, and some friends. And no, this is not a joke. Play. What did he sing? Me and Jesus, what? Or we need Jesus? I don't know. Next. That was amazing. Next. The country didn't shift right. It shifted from baddie to common sense. This is coming from Scott Adams. Just a nice little beautiful reminder of what transpired just a few weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. We're in our new dawn era, all right? Even though it doesn't feel like it just yet, especially with the doom and gloom over in Russia and Ukraine. But that's okay. Trump is here, and he's on his way, ladies and gents. Britt Gusmus, do we have something? Take it away, Britt.
To know why you're here, this message is for you. You're not here just to make money. You're not here just to have status and power. You're not here to just have stuff. You're here for more. Psalm 16:11 tells us why we're here. We are here so that we can experience God's path of life for us. We are here to experience His fullness of joy. We are here to have at His right hand pleasures forevermore. Life is about so much more than who you are, what you do. Life is about being connected to the God of the universe. Lean into Him today. Rejoice in this day. Be glad in it because He made it.
Praise the Lord. All right, if you haven't partnered with Revival today, now is our offering time. But before you go, I want to invite you to church service tonight. If you're in Louisiana, we're going to be going to Jesse Duplantis' church. And that is tonight at 7 p.m. at Covenant Church in Destrehan, Louisiana. There it is. And then tomorrow we're going to be headed to Los Angeles. So make it out, Sheridan University, or rather Universal Hotel. And all meetings start at 7 o'clock. All meetings are totally free. And if you want to, you can go and register at revivaltoday.com/events. We also have a church. So come on down. If you don't have a home church, or even if you do, and maybe you're in town visiting, if you're in Texas, Pastor Jonathan will be there live and in person this Sunday in Fort Worth in Watauga, Texas at 9 a.m. And we're going to be simulcasting here in Pittsburgh. Hopefully the snow will die down. Apparently, allegedly, Matthew, there's going to be 11 inches on Friday next week. Hello, Pittsburgh. We meet every single Sunday morning at 1442 Coraopolis Heights Road at 10 a.m. So come on down. Next. Actually, not next. Actually, I think that is next, right? Tonight, don't forget, rain, ladies. If you're in town, make sure you come on down. It's Girls Giving. So we're going to offer a delicious meal amongst all of our friends. It's going to be great. And Pastor Sandy is going to be giving a powerful word. The doors open at 6:30. Don't be late. rtcregister.com for all of the information. All right, look at her eyebrow. Her eyebrows are fantastic. Pastor Sandy, yes. Yes. Here are the ways that you can give. And for your donation of any size, this wonderful t-shirt is what we're giving away. It's enlarge it a little bit. We both lost, yes, but I banked 20 million. You owe 20 million. What a wonderful little heirloom that you can hand down to your children and your children's children as a way. You know, before we used to decoupage and keep scrapbooks. Now, what we're doing here at Check the News is that we keep an inventory of all these t-shirts for years and years to come. Here are the ways that you can give. We've got Venmo, we've got PayPal, we've got Zelle, we've got hashtag Facebook, or rather, hashtag donate on Facebook. You can text RT to 50155. Ninja Booty, I did. Oh, yes, we have a turkey giveaway. Thank you. Thank you. Turkey giveaways in Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas, we're doing turkey giveaway. We're doing turkey giveaway in Pittsburgh, PA. So follow all of our social media accounts and get all of the information right there. Cryptocurrencies are here for you to donate. And of course, if you want to mail in a check, you can do so at P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, PA, 15329. Listen, don't forget this one last step. You got to claim your offer. If you want the t-shirt, go to revivaltoday.com/offer, fill out the form, and make sure praise God, John Williams. I'm so glad that you got your Harry Balls t-shirt. If you know, you know. All right. So if people are watching for the first time and they're like, what the heck is she talking about? They'll understand once you show up to church wearing your Harry Balls t-shirt. So God bless you. Godspeed. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you on Monday, Tuesday.
What's it like seeing so many Republicans in Manhattan, so many Trump supporters in Manhattan? Does that surprise you?
No, not at all. It's turning now. Trump's turn again.
What's your message to Joe Biden?
You.
Rallies Up magazine, let me begin. I came to win, bet on me, guard your chin. I won't ever slack up, commies better back up. Try to cheat again and you'll the whole country act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump across the ceiling. MAGA, let the love float, Democrats corrupt, yo, we know it's do or die. We taking it all back, so feeling, drunken, amp central force, well, we got more fun. Bust it out, retribution, Delia's team. The memes can get meme, hit the lives coast to coast with on my one machine. I came to get down, so get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around. Trump up, White House bound. Trump, 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 everybody Trump, 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 everybody Trump, 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 Trump. I'll serve just like tiny meatball. If you step out of line, you're taking a fall. Word to your moms, ballparks and thorns. I got more rallies than Bible got songs. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned. Anyone stepping in me, you'll get burned. Cause I got voters and you ain't got none. If you want a battle, come and get some. But if you do, you're a fool, cause TT is the best. After we take your seat, then you can protest. I got the skill, come get your fill. Cause when it's said and done, I'm standing still. I hate to get down, I hate to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around. Jump up, White House bound. Trump, 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 everybody Trump, 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 everybody Trump, 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 Trump.